Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a lovely day, whatever you're doing. This video is going to be a reaction to old videos. A lot of them are just cringy videos. Kind of like most of my content. I'd like to think I've evolved, but I really haven't. But I would say for any aspiring YouTuber to kind of start with rubbish content, make bad content, learn from mistakes. Because if you're not learning from mistakes and trying to improve each time, then you think that your shit don't stink. And if you think your shit don't stink, then man, you're in the wrong game. Because you always have to look at your stuff and go, I could do better. When I first began my channel, I didn't have any kind of direction. I even had like a different name though. I wasn't actually called RichTheMan before. Like I was called RichYoMan. So, look, you know, it just comes with... Like I did this kind of video here. So yeah, how I wanted to start my channel was to do like comedy skits and stuff and impressions, and this one is me doing the old lady from the Monty Python Life of Brian. And again, like back about 8 years ago, was this something that people would want to watch? No.
Oi, fish face. Yes to the first, yes to the last. You can keep my boat. Oh, bucker. Welcome to the Caribbean, lad.
Now again, this kind of goes back to a period of time where I'm like, do you know what? I think this is funny, but it actually isn't, or maybe it doesn't age well with stuff that's kind of like on my channel. Obviously, from those that know the channel from day dot will know that it didn't start out as a Marvel Contest of Champions, streaming, video creation, or kind of like general coverage. Because originally it started off as World of Tanks, of which I had a very rocky kind of intro, like a I can't play it for copyright reasons, but it was a very kind of like fun-ish type thing. Look, there's me there back in the day. I think I was actually rocking the HD 1080p Logitech. Yeah, obviously I still enjoy World of Tanks and actually still play it to this day. So that's something that I do want to put on my second channel because I still enjoy the game and I actually play the game quite well. Because obviously, you know, there's certain games that I play better than MCOC, but people aren't really interested in watching them. So I may revitalize it on the Twitch channel at a later date. Now, this is taken from my very first Marvel Contest of Champions video. This is the point in when I wouldn't say things changed because there was still the grind. As a Marvel Contest Champions YouTuber starting out, there was probably about 10 of us to begin with back in the year of 2015, actually in the late summer of 2015. I'm using the camera Logitech 1080 and yeah, it's just a standard room setup. This is like no glitz and glamour as I kind of have now, but let's kind of like listen to a bit of this. This is the thing, is just a lot of people moan about not getting 4 stars, and I can see why. 4 stars are not in great demand. I only have 2. People moaning about not getting 4 stars, and I'm only having 2 at the moment. So I'm level 37. This is my account here. Yeah, the game has really kind of changed. This is the old collector vault of the past, so that's kind of a bit of reminiscent. I'm actually filming this by recording the camera footage with the microphone, or this is all in post edit. Because I didn't have the extensive amount of tech that I do now in order to make this work. OBS I think was in its very early stages, and maybe I haven't heard of it. I'm not 100% sure, but I was screen recording at the same time, but then kind of linking it up after. So I'm actually recording the footage, I've already done it, and then I'm putting the stuff over the top. So that kind of explains the way that I was making content back then. I've got Hulk and I've got a Colossus. Other people seem to get them. Oh wow, actually, like, just to stop the video there, I've just said something that I didn't realise, that I think Hulk was my first ever 4-star. My second ever 4-star was a Colossus. Now, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Thinking that that was my second champion, because I wasn't quite sure. So, bit of facts for the history buffs of me, like there is. Now, this is my intro. This was my old intro. I'll put a link in the description to go and check it out. But the fact is, I had to kind of like not play it. Again, most of the stuff that I've done with intros and stuff, they get copyrighted, and that's the thing. Even if there's something that you can get on YouTube that says copyright free, chances are within a few years someone will put a copyright claim on it and you'll probably end up losing it. So always going through the audio library of the pre-approved stuff from YouTube, or 100% guaranteeing that it's going to be copyright free, because this is the problem with YouTubers. They'll use an intro for a long space of time, and then record companies may get the artist, or there may be some aspects of people actually claiming stuff, and then you're like, well, if you make a living from YouTube and having everything claimed, then what's the point? Okay, audio quality is crap, and the way that I'm recording stuff isn't perfect. But this is my first ever kind of like Hulk review, as Hulk used to be. And this was back when Hulk was, well, he was good, but he wasn't as good he is now in the game. Also, funny enough, they've changed the placeholder image for Hulk, so the profile picture looks a lot different now than it used to back in the day. Now, I've always liked doing guides. I tried putting some stuff out in 2019, and I do plan to kind of get back into creating them and also really kind of understanding the technical side, as I used to be more interested in that back in the day, but it kind of over the years didn't really feel like I was that interested in the technical side of things with MCOC, but I'm getting more into it now, especially with stuff with Variant 4, Variant 3, and other types of things that Kabam are putting out. It's more interesting now to me than it's ever been. But I put out my very first guide on the 1st of July 2015. Obviously, the main scheme of things is the quality side of stuff. It's not as on point or as good as it is now, especially for quality. As you can see, the interface looks totally different. And even as a case, you can go to stuff like, what I was saying is going to global in order to find someone to join. But look, let's face it, the game was very different back then. It was a lot more safer, especially with that, and there wasn't too many like, you know, dodgy people around, especially back in July 2015, when this type of thing of joining an alliance was actually very new. So that was something as well. Kabam also used to send out something to people like this. You can see here, like the 3-day events. Now, I did get something wrong, which I've only just realized now, and that is that the event was called Crystal Rush, not Crystal Crush. But the fact is, I think people knew what I meant, and trying to remember stuff back in the game, in, you know, what, 5 years that the game's been running it's kind of a difficult one to kind of remember. But the more that I can write down stuff or remember things and go back to these old videos, the more I will remember, it seems. And also, just quickly checking out my old alliance. Looks like the leader, as well as most of the others that are still in there, of the 30, there's only 4 there. And look, you've got 1,542 days, 1,172, 171 days was the last time that the leader logged in. But yeah, it's crazy that a lot of people obviously have fallen out of favour with the game and obviously do not want to continue it on any further. I just thought I'd do a quick search up to see if anybody that was in my very first alliance was actually still active, and so far I've researching about 3 or 4, and I'm pretty much given up by this point, is Barsby. So shout out to Barsby, who's in an alliance now. So that's good. It means that like at least somebody's still playing the game. And he's got some pretty impressive champions. Corvus, rank 565, Dr. Voodoo, 565, Aegon, 565, and Hulk, 565. All awakened, so yeah, at least somebody's still playing the game and active from my very first alliance. Also, just found another one, and that is Kirk M83, who as well is doing pretty well. Aegon Awakened, Thing, Iceman, and Guillotine 2099. And looks like he's made a lot of progress as well. So, you know, shout out to all these people he used to be in an alliance with. This interface looks totally different. Even seeing bases there, that's completely old school for this. With like an events tab, you've got stats, loads of different stuff that you know, the current build does not see. Around this time, I was still living at home and living with my mum, and I wanted to do more with my content. I wanted to start doing stuff with green screens. I wanted to do so much more things, but I kind of felt that I needed the space for it. So that's one thing that I decided to do. Is when I met Em, we kind of said, right, well, we want to move in together and we want to be able to kind of do this from a house. We didn't really fancy renting, so we decided we were going to buy somewhere, and we found this lovely place which we're still in at the moment. Whilst being here, I've made some odd, weird, questionable content. I've even tried to like steer my channel in different directions, and as well still kind of like keeping true to roots, like covering stuff like World of Warships, World of Tanks, and just so many other kind of weird things. An unboxing video of 16-year-old booster packs from WWE Raw Deal or WWF Raw Deal, and also some weird kind of like comedy videos. So I've made some pretty weird stuff, and it's only really been in the last 2 years that I've kind of said to myself, right, well, let's get yourself structured with what you want to deliver on this channel and what people are interested in, rather than the goofy weird stuff that I will put out from time to time, because that's, again, just a void of expression. Like, I want to express myself, but I kind of feel that if I go too much of going like, okay, let's do this video and that video, which is kind of weird, then people are going to be like, what the heck are you doing with this channel? And if you want to see like some kind of goofy example of what I'm talking about, it's me pretending to be Deadpool, opening up some Deadpool crystals. Man, if you didn't think my content could get as cringy as it could do...
On steroids. What the fuck was that? What are shards? It's like a booby prize or something. Okay, here comes the pop. And we get... Hey, is that guillotine? That's a nice piece of ass. What the fuck? Not that thing bag again! I ain't getting trolled by ex-fucking Mennonites. What the hell am I gonna get?
That. Okay, that's... I will put a link to everything in the description down below, but like this is just... It's... How old is this actually? How old is this shit? This shit is... This is... Well, it'll be 3 years old in July, and it's... It's not good. Like, I don't even like, obviously people in the comment section are just combination of confused, just like I think I even put this, I put cringy, effing horrible, and only a few choice words. Please read it. Yeah, exactly. Like I like how your nose is near Deadpool's eyes. People say good job. The cringe, still love you though. Yeah, it's just it's awful. This was very awkward but good. I'd say it's just awful. Stop cursing a lot, please, says somebody. Look, I enjoyed that Captain Bay's Thor thing. Hammer time. But yeah, just a lot of the kind of the craft of some of the content. I wouldn't say like this is the kind of the genius video, but this It's a bit embarrassing. Watch it and cringe for yourself. I know I did. Obviously the main reason I want to produce this video is to kind of like talk about where I've taken my channel from point A to point B. There's been a lot of things from kind of like looking at exposed videos and having a look at things in game with MCOC in more detail, but also putting out weird and cringy and funny things for you to enjoy as well. Okay, this is going to be one of my favorite ones. Like, and talk about like things to make you laugh. This is a good example. This is my Bean Boozled challenge. So I'll link it in the description for this. Like, this is when I did like every time I get a 2-star, I've got to eat like something from the Bean Boozled, and we had things like dog food, rotten eggs, and stuff like that. Oh, come on, chocolate, please, chocolate pudding. Good face. Oh man, that made me gag. No. Oh god. I thought these things were meant to be quite timid. Oh, hang on. Oh god. Oh man, I was literally so close to puking my guts up then.
I really thought these were meant to be quite timid. Oh god.
Obviously this only scratches the surface of cringy or weird content that I've put out, even stuff this year, or no, not this year, last year, where I thought I was funny, but obviously I wasn't. But that's, you know, it just happens. You got to just try. At the end of the day, just try to put something out there that you think could be funny, and you know, people will get certain people's humor, other people don't, and it's just how it happens with YouTube, and it just happens with the internet and life. But yeah, I have put out some weird stuff, especially the 12 days of MCOC was back in December 2018, and I might put out some stuff like here or there. I even kind of like thought about doing a big yellow numbers kind of to the tune of big booty bitches, and decided not to do it because I just didn't think it would really work. But we'll have to see in the future. Maybe I'll post some of the weird and cringy stuff to social media, but you know, we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much for the ongoing support. I will be doing a proper thank you video next week sometime, but I want to make sure that I write it well, I structure it well, and I deliver it well. So that's the main focus of that. Hope you've enjoyed some of these weird and out there videos that I've made over the span of the last few years that I've been doing YouTube based content. The pre-MCOC stuff, the MCOC content. Thank you very much for being around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.